And open up their hearts. 77 days until Hanukkah. Gewalt.
Nachamu, Nachamu, Ani, Yohimar Elokeichem. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ani, Yohimar Elokeichem. Nachamu, Nachamu, Yohimar Elokeichem. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, Yohimar Elokeichem. Oidabru alei Yerushalayim, vekiru
Bezrat Hashem Chavra. This is for Rav Nitai. As you see, the background is for all the Chayalim, all for Am Yisrael, Beshem Kol Yisroel. Before we start, it's just amazing to see the Chavra. I hope everyone had the highest, most special Shabbos in the world. Hope everyone experienced paradise, changed their address to paradise like we learned from Rav Shlomo, I think like a month ago, how it's so deep, right? Like we have our weekday address, but then we move our address to closer to Gan Eden, to paradise for Shabbos. So I hope everyone experienced that and everyone's healthy, happy, and successful. And now we're starting a new week, Gewalt, and we're just going to try to bring the energy and the joy of Shabbos and really try to use that for the greater good during this week. It's a pretty big week. It's the week of Yom Kippur. A lot of preparation going on. And this learning is Shem Shemayim, Beshem Kol Yisroel for Pesach Re'uvi Ben Yosef Asara. We have a quick recovery. So we're just going to get right into it. The Kutei Tefillah is that we should all, I don't have it right in front of me, but mamash, like everyone should have it in their heads and really create their own. But for me, my kavanah this year, or this chabura, is mamash just knowing that when we wake up in the morning, we're waking up in the world of Hashem, in Hashem's presence. We're aware of Hashem. We're in His world, mamash. And this is what the Ketzer Shulchan Aruch is talking about. Also, while lying in bed, you should realize before whom you lay, and as soon as you awaken, you should remember the kindness of Hashem. Blessed be His name, that were granted to you, that He returned your soul to you. You committed it to Him faint and weary, and it was returned to you new and refreshed, enabling you to worship Hashem. However, this is the deepest Torah, and this is connected to what we're talking about right now. We'll stop right here with the introduction to the first halacha. It's part of the halacha, honestly, very much the halacha. That every single day when we wake up in the morning, Hashem is returning us our souls. It's the deepest because He believes in us. He believes that we could be better today, and that we could make a larger impact, a greater impact. We could improve, get from level to level. But you know what's so crazy? How when we wake up in the morning, we're such a strong force, such a mamish, like godliness light is put back into us, and our guf, our body, is faint and weary. We're tired. We're mamish tired. So maybe we should go further, but I think we're going to stop here. We're going to talk about waking up like a lion, the whole thing. But mamash being aware that Hashem believes in us and that He returns to us our souls each and every day. It's the reason why we're here right now on the Zoom. Gewalt. This is very much connected to the Torah that we're going over right now from Rabbeinu Nachman. Rashi explains, according to Samson, according to all, Rashi is the deepest. Just learn Rashi. Just learn Rashi. Rashi explains their own smallness to mean that their faith was small. Talking about Bnei Israel. But the words of the Talmud literally mean the smallness they had in themselves. Hence, the Rebbe's comment that their main lack was that of confidence in themselves. That's what Rashi was explaining, their own smallness. And this is how Rabbeinu interpreted it. Or this is how the Talmud interpreted it. How we were lacking in confidence in ourselves. The Talmud concludes by stating there were some among them who did not believe in God. If they were tzaddikim, how is this possible? According to the Rebbe's interpretation, this means that they did not have enough faith in God's goodness to believe that they were important to Him. That is why the Talmud speaks of their smallness. Their lack of belief was really lack of faith in themselves. This can also be fitted in the Rashi's commentary. So Rabbeinu was just talking about, part of what Rabbeinu may be saying here is that sort of like what the kids are Shulchan Aruch was saying, we have to have confidence that Hashem believes in us. Right? And Emunasa Baleus is not how much I believe in you, but it's how much you believe in me. Hashem believes in us. Thus, we have to believe in ourselves. And I guess they have a little summary here, right? The main lesson here is that you must have faith in yourself. Believe that even you are dear in the eyes of God. A measure of God's goodness is every individual's importance to Him. However, this is the deepest. I heard this story in this Torah from Rav Malach Biederman, quoting the Rishner. The Rishner basically says you have to press the button. Obviously, I don't think those were the words. Those weren't the words that the Rishner said. But based off the story that was related to this Torah, just push the button. Just push the elevator button. Meaning, Rav Malach was explaining that this week, Dafka this week, is a time where we have access, instant access with the deal with Hashem. Hashem is like, come closer to me, ask for what you want, and I grant it to you. I listen and I answer your prayers on Yom Kippur. All we have to do is press a button. All we have to do is look to Hashem. And the story that was related to is that this guy was in New York City walking, and you have all the skyscrapers there, Gavaldik, 70-story buildings, 100-story buildings. And this guy was walking the streets. He needs to get to the 100th floor of a certain building. So he gets in the elevator. Samson playing guitar, Gavalt, oh my gosh. He gets in the elevator, and when the door is shut, you would expect this person to press the button for the 100th floor. But instead, he left the doors closed until the lights went off. And the Yid was just standing there, mamish, arms crossed, waiting for something to happen. Then he pressed the emergency bell because he realized he wasn't getting to the 100th floor. So then the whole fire department came. It was a whole zak. It was a whole balagan. They ripped open the doors. And like, what's the deal here? What's the matzav? You didn't press the 100th button. You didn't press the button for the 100th floor. And the Yid's like, no. And they're like, that's why you didn't get to the 100th floor. So the way we could relate to this story is that all we have to do is push the button to get to the highest levels. Hashem will bring us there. We have to believe in ourselves, that Hashem believes in us and that we're capable of so much. So based off the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch and based off the Rabbeinu's Torah, we should have the ability to realize how special we are, how big our diamond really is. and how much it's really worth. It's priceless, mamish priceless. We have to live like we're priceless. Bezrat Hashem. Cover questions, comments, please feel free.
We were saying, it's very in line with this time of year. As is known, the Elder would say that it's important for a Jew to live with the times. And that doesn't mean that that it's important for a Jew to be caught up on all the gossip that's going on in Hollywood. It means that it's important for a Jew to take with him every single day of the week the times of the Parsha Shavua, of learning with Perish Rashi every day of the Parsha. So as we try to live with the times, that also means keeping up with the holidays that we find ourselves surrounded by. According to Yom Kippur, the day Yom Kippur doesn't really make sense. Yom Kippur, Yom Kippurim, Kippur really means either means kapara or it means someone who's a heretic is called a kofar. It's the same word. Kapara, redemption or forgiveness, and kofar, a heretic, is the same word in Hebrew. This means that a few things. Excuse for the background noise. That in order for one, some would say that in order for one to get true kapara, there needs to be a little bit of a kofar. Who am I to say such a thing, that in order for someone to get true forgiveness of sin and be cleaned, they have to be a little bit of a heretic? It's not my idea. It's actually embedded in the word kfirah and kippur, and it's taught down by the Meir Shiloach that the whole inyan of Azazel, of sending the Sir Mishtaleach, is an aspect which is kfirah. It's technically avodah zarah, but on Yom Kippur we say, okay, we're gonna do a little bit of avodah zarah, even though it's not real. Whatever, there's a lot to be said about it, but I wanted to connect it to what you said. But a lot of the times, David Aaron said a lot, that you have to fake it until you awake it.
Oh.
And this means that we have to keep telling ourselves, we have to, until we believe it, until we know it, until we realize it, that we are so, so great. There's so much potential. The word kfar in Hebrew also means settlement, a village. That the word chaf pei resh means the word village, one, redemption or kapara, like forgiveness, two, and heretic, three. It's all the same word. So I'm going to leave it to the question. You guys can figure that out, and you'll come back to us tomorrow with your answers. If not. But we have to believe in ourselves. We have kochot.
So good. So good. Hurari, you have anything to share? Tamar, Kira, Kislas.
I have a question. Samson, where's that written in Meshilach? I want to. It's crazy. I want to see it inside.
So in the Meshilach, he talks about in Parshat. I want to say, I'm going to send you a source sheet. With a lot of the source sheet is mainly it's all about the Sir al-Azazel with a lot of Meshilach Torah on it. So I don't want to quote you an exact place because I'm not sure the exact one, but there are a lot of Meshilach Torah on that source sheet. So I'll send it to you and you'll do your digging.
All right, sick.
Okay.
So well done. Thanks.
All right.
So deep.
Oh wait, actually, I do know where it is, and it's not in the Meshilach. It's taught by his Talmud, the Rav Tzadok Hakon of Lublin. who actually takes all the ideas of the Meshiloach and puts them into this gisha towards Azazel. So I apologize. It's in Tzidkat Tzadik Tormem. He's freaking out. I don't know why.
We've Lem. Ethan Lem is on.
Do you see the source sheet though? I still want to see this.
Yes, I'll still send you the source sheet. It's all the sources from the Meshiloach, like the ideas are there, and then the Tzidkat Tzadik, he kind of like stems it all together.
Hazak.
Bezrat Hashem.
The Rebbes are on tonight.
Kira, you have anything to share? Gislasi, Ethan Lamb, you have anything to share?
Kira. Oh, Ramnitai. I just wanted to say, maybe Rav Nitai and Rav Jack already saw it, but I was davening on Rosh Hashanah in the shul. A lot of white shirts, black hats. It was a good time. But it reminded me what you were saying, Rav Jack, about one of the core concepts. It's actually, even me and Jake right now are just speaking about it from a TV show. The idea of true belief in God is belief in the self, right? And it's, to me, it's like one of really the core concepts of the world of Judaism, of, achieving things is really like, from Rav Nachamu, of course, the Lost Princess, Rav Jack's favorite person, princess being the favorite person. But the idea that to be able to accomplish something is to be able to fully believe in yourself that you're able to achieve it, to be able to fully orient yourself towards that goal. But I read something crazy. So, because there's a TV show, I just recommended to Nitai. I won't say it now, but I can reveal it later. It speaks a lot about this idea of self-actualization, and it deals a lot with the concepts of heaven and hell. And Reb Shlomo would speak a lot about this. And so one of the craziest things, I was thinking about this TV show. I was watching an episode, and I was thinking about this concept and how these ideas apply in the world and what they mean for us practically. And I opened my computer, and I see it's open to this page that I opened before Shabbos. I completely forgot about. I looked up like Reb Shlomo Karlbach on the Parsha, and I didn't find anything. But the page was still open, and I see this Holy Rebbitzin had written an article. I didn't even bother clicking on it. So I'm an animal. And I see it's titled like something like, what is heaven and hell experienced on earth by Reb Shlomo. And so I'm like, hey, this is crazy. I was literally just talking about the shows about this. I click on it. And the idea he said is one of the craziest concepts. It's exactly the idea of the show. And it's very, very practical, very scary, but very real for Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, days of Tshuva. And so this is what he says from a holy master and teacher, our friend, Shlomo. He says that when we get into the afterlife, after 120, we arrive in a movie theater. We start watching a movie with two eyes. In one of our eyes, we see our whole life as it played out, everything that we did. And in our other eye, we see everything that we were meant to do. And the experience of hell is when you're watching two different movies. When your two eyes aren't seeing the same thing, when your life wasn't the life that you knew it could have been. But the holiest experience of heaven, the highest of the high. It's when your two movies match. And your whole life was everything your life could have been. And the Holy Rebbitzin went on to explain that this is the same in the world while we're living. There's times we know what we could be doing. We know who we really are. We don't choose to make the decisions to bring us there. The days of Tshuva. It's time. Follow Reb Jack. Follow his ways. He's finding something. He's finding a real light. Think about him every day. Yizrat Hashem will all see the same movie. In two eyes. We'll have the symmetry of the real song. Yizrat Hashem. Mashiach soon. So crazy. Lucifer.
There's nothing else to say. There's nothing to say. It's tears. Kalali, you have anything to add?
No way I can add to that.
Hey, ready?
Oh, Daniel.
This is Florian.
Rav Daniel, you know what was going on tonight. Do you have anything to share? Any Torah, any chizik, anything? Mamish.
I wish I would just have something that's like right in my head to like say spontaneously. But yeah, right now, not as of now, I don't have anything to say
I mean,
spontaneously.
I have something like the beautiful thing about Daniel is that, he's speaking without speaking. And like, we could just look at his screen right now. And that's why Zoom is so gewaldig. We could just see the smile. We all know Daniel has the most powerful smile in this world. So, Chevra, while these days may be scary and they may be the most beautiful, depending on the perspective, many perspectives, don't forget to smile. Don't forget to be like Daniel, who's mamash b'simcha tamid. Mamash, may we get to such a level. Bracha for all of us, for you and I. And I guess that's what you were going to say, Daniel. But that's what I feel just looking at you right now. So, Bezrat Hashem. Wow, Kira. I mean, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Maybe just Hanukkah in 77 days. And that's all we need to say. Bezrat Hashem, Chavra, we should all be healthy, happy, successful. Whether we're in YU, Mamash bringing the biggest smile, the biggest simcha, the biggest joy to every single person on campus. Whether you're a Nitai, coming to the Holy Yeshiva tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem, defending Am Yisrael on a day-to-day. Sometimes it's hard for it's definitely hard for me to remember that. But just seeing you and Tamar, Mamash on the front lines every single night, it just brings me back to that mindset and that awareness. So thank you guys, and Tamar, of course, defending the borders, defending Am Yisrael. And then you have Gislas and Kira, Mamash is dishing out light to all of Toronto. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. But
Reb, one time me and Avi had the chiddush that we're here in Israel, we're on defense, defending the land, but they're in Canada, they're on offense.
Wow, that's a strong Torah. It's a strong Torah.
Curious.
Wow, it's a strong Torah. Bezrat Hashem, Chaver, just health, happiness, and success, and Beshem Kol Yisroel, Mamash, everything Beshem Kol Yisroel. Really, you guys are always in our thoughts, and just continue down for Am Yisrael. We all need it. Bezrat Hashem.
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi.